Hello, nice to see you. Obviously no game on Saturday, so you've had a lot of time to work with the players. We wanted to quickly talk about the last 3 games. They've all been draws, albeit positive ones. However, we've been wondering as fans and as also pundits, how do you change those draws into wins in the final stage of the season?
I think they're 3 different draws. Yeah, we've drawn 3 in a row, which has kept us on a good run of form, if you like, with 1 defeat in 12 league games. So, we're really pleased with the run we're on. But the 3 draws have all been different, if you like. The result at Stockport was a little bit disappointing, where I felt we were a better team and we had the best chances and maybe should have won the game. I think that flipped round against Solihull at home. They had the better chances, and if anyone was going to win it, I thought it was them. To then go to Ebbsfleet, where different conditions, the pitch, the wind, it was a very hard fought and well earned point, and it doesn't matter who you play and where they are in the league, any point on the road is a good point. So 3 totally different games that we have to break down individually and what we can improve on, but the be all and end all is we've created chances in those games, and we just wanted to get back into that scoring run that we had over Christmas.
Excellent. So with the final, we're coming into the final third of the season. It's a very critical time to pick up points and, more importantly, sustain a position to work on for the remainder of the year. But there's a lot of home fixtures left for Sutton. Do you see that as an advantage as we get into the final stages?
Yeah, the form at home wasn't great in the early part of the season, but it's really turned that corner now, and we're really confident and had some great results, performances, scored lots of goals at home. So yeah, we've been away 2 of the last 3. We're now away 2 of the next 3. So we're on a little run of away games, but our away form's more than been capable away from home. We've been solid and difficult to beat, and we've got one of the best defensive records in the league. So we've got 3 tough games coming up now with Halifax and Bromley, the 2 away games, with the home game against Barrow and BT in between. So I feel like I'm repeating myself all the time, Ahmed, but it is literally a game at a time, and just trying to get to that 51 points, which is our first target this season, is to get to that 51 to make sure we're definitely safe. We're 9 points away from that, 3 wins, and it'd be lovely if we could pick them up in the next 3.
Fantastic. Well, we hope so too, in fact. You brought 2 strikers in the last week. We never got to ask you about Callum last week, but you've also added Isaac this week. Isaac Olafowe, I believe is how you pronounce it. What was your ideas behind bringing those 2 in? I presume it would be for competition.
Yeah, it didn't really work out for Aaron Jarvis in the last few months. He was getting frustrated. He wasn't getting the minutes he was wanting to get. I didn't think he was giving us much coming off the bench. He didn't feel so either. He wanted to start. I wasn't in a position to give him that. Omar and Tommy have been doing very, very well. So I agreed with Aaron for him to go out for the rest of the season to Hemel Hempstead. So with Dundas, who is an impact for us for 10-15 minutes, I don't feel really Dundo is a starter for us. Mm-hmm. So it leaves us a little bit light up front. Since the games have calmed down a little bit after Christmas, it's really given the opportunity for myself, Jason, Mickey to get out and watch us. We're watching a hell of a lot of games at the moment to make sure, one of the biggest things in football is your recruitment, and make sure that when players come and go that your recruitment is of a good level, to make sure you keep filling those spaces. And I just felt that was an area we needed to strengthen, to give competition to Omar and to Tommy, to even start and freshen it off the bench. They're 2 different players in terms of Callum Keeley's come from Worthing, he's come from lower down, he's an Australian boy, he works extremely hard, he's fit, he's strong, he's got a good goals record. So he comes in with a hunger to come up to us, to then try and break into our team, to try and potentially move on or get a regular place in our team. Whereas Tanto, as we call him, Isaac, he's known as Tanto. He's someone that we've watched, and I've got really good connections with Millwall. I know loads of people there. I've worked with them previously when I've been out of coaching jobs, so I've scouted for Millwall. So Tanto's been on the radar for a while. Myself and Jason watched him play twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He scored goals in both of those games. He's quick, he's powerful, and both of those gives us 2 different options to come and compete with Omar and Tommy, and then you've still got the Dundo option as well. So I'm really happy now with that strikers options going into that last quarter of the season.
Let's talk about goals, in fact. Obviously you expect strikers to put the ball in the back of the net on a week in, week out basis, but it's actually been coming from midfield this season. Harry Beatsman continuing his amazing form. I believe he's on 15 for the season in all competitions. So how important is he this season to continue to not only bring a sort of stability to the side, but also continue with his goal scoring form?
Yes, listen, your strikers is where you want your main goals to come from. And I think there's no coincidence in our run of form in why it's changed. In Omar not being really fit and being stop-start for the first 2-3 months of the season, Tommy Wright not even being fit till September, October, and him being out for a year, and him taking a bit of time to get going. There's no coincidence with those two, with Craig Eastman getting fit and playing in midfield, where he didn't do in the first period of the season, with Louis John signing, with Zanev. Straight down the spine of our team there, we've been a hell of a lot stronger, and the results have changed. We haven't been coaching them any different. We haven't been doing our style of play any different formations. We just got players fit and added a couple in. So we want goals from all over, though. We've been on to David Adjeboy that he should be getting more, and he's chipped in a few more over the Christmas period. Harry Buteman's started at Hartlepool in the first game, and he's continued his run, and he's potentially could get 20 goals from midfield. Is outstanding. I feel we should maybe get a little bit more from other areas, set pieces wise. Louis John gets his first contact on a lot of things. Goody's chipped in with a couple, so it's starting to come. But yeah, you want goals, and you need goals from all over your pitch, and hopefully bringing those two in, as well as the goals coming from midfield, we can keep that goal scoring going.
Yeah, his form has been important this season, so we're hoping for more from him. Let's talk about next week, this weekend, obviously, about Halifax coming up, and they came here and beat us 2-0, which wasn't a pleasant result. I wonder, I should say, which wasn't a pleasant result. I was thinking it was 2. Yeah. That was a wrong result. Yeah, but 1-0 against you was a difficult night, I'm sure, but they are still sort of sorts in the league. They were challenging for the promotion back then. Nowadays it's the playoffs. Can you see a similar team to what you experienced back in October?
Listen, it was another probably frustrating Tuesday night, really, where we had good chances and we had a better team on the night, I felt. Although there wasn't too much in the game, it wasn't. They've scored in the second half, and we haven't managed to break them down and get the equaliser or the winner that I felt that we least deserved. So it was a bit of a frustrating night, but we're like I've just said to you there, we're talking about, we were a totally different team from then. We've moved right on, we've improved, we've got better. So, it is very much about us, and we'll do our homework on Halifax and be as prepared as we always are for every game. But as long as we can, get things right our side, then I'm sure we'll give Halifax a very tough game.
Yeah.
A tough place to go. Who are a team, certainly well in the playoffs at the moment, and we'll like to think that they're going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season.
Yeah. So let's talk about the team. Obviously, it's been a long couple of weeks. You've had time to obviously look at the squad, assess any injuries or players returning. What updates do you have for us on that front?
Craig Eastman, unfortunately, tweaks his knee at Leatherhead in the Surrey Senior Cup, but he's still suspended anyway for Halifax. So Barrow is back available again but we won't know until nearer the time really if he's going to be fit or not for that. But he definitely wouldn't be fit for this weekend's game. Apart from that, Will Randalls and Wade Browns are coming back into the squad. They've trained fully, so they give me good competition there. Unfortunately, Jamie Butler has been sort of in and out with injury. Has rolled his ankle and quite a bad sprain. It looks like it potentially could be a season over there. So we'll wait for more news on the scan that's coming up in the next few days on that. So, but apart from that, we're fit, healthy, and ready to go.
Yeah, just one more in regards to the Surrey Senior Cup. Obviously, getting eliminated from that wasn't ideal because it means that you can't bred the squad players into matches that you would have liked to play in. How important is it now to focus on the league and try to make sure the team rotation is working well and that everyone gets a chance in the remaining games of the season? Yeah,
listen, we used Leatherhead to get the 4-5 players, I think it was, I'm not sure, the minutes that we felt at the time. Listen, we want to win every game, but the Surrey Senior Cup, it all depends on, at the time when it gets fitted in, on where we are as a squad and who needs what. In Hawley in the previous round, it coincided with us needing, 7, 8, 9 first team players getting minutes, which was a good exercise for us. But at Leatherhead on the Tuesday night, only having 4, it didn't work out too well for us. So I'm going to learn from that for next season. But no, we've only got 13 league games to go now, so our pure focus is on that. But we're training really hard. The 2 weeks we had off after Christmas, the Chesterfield game, I really used it as a bit of a downtime to give the players a rest and recover and just tick over. Whereas this 2 weeks leading up to the Halifax game, we've really pushed it on and really worked them hard to make sure we're fit, sharp, going into that last 13 games of the season. So, no, I'm happy with the squad. in terms of competition for places and the fitness levels of them for this last push.
Fantastic. Well, nice to see you, Matt. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers, Matt.